What's up, guys? So in this video, we're going to talk about a potentially game-breaking bug. We're going to get a first look at all of Anti-Venom's animations, and we're going to reveal the identity of a secret 6th symbiote character. So let's get into it. Alright, so I recorded this footage earlier in the Scream event campaign, and I wanted to make sure that I took in a really weak team. So if you're wondering, what the heck team am I using? I was using a bunch of my weakest characters that do the least damage or can skip turns. But obviously I wanted to make sure I brought my Mr. Sinister so that I could clone Anti-Venom because he's on this stage. So that was the main thing I wanted to do. So obviously there I killed Deadpool, and I'm trying to kill them as slowly as possible because I want as many people alive on the field so that when Anti-Venom comes to the field, we can actually see him in action. So obviously I don't want to go ahead and clone yet, so I make sure to attack Venom there. And yeah, I was, giving Deadpool the opportunity to heal, but these are such low-level characters that he did not heal for much, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, doing a pretty good job of trying to stall. And I believe once there's only 2 characters on the field, it's at that point that the next wave will drop down. So there's Anti-Venom right there. And obviously I want to make sure that I'm able to clone him. And as you'll see, once I do that, that's where things get interesting. All right, so now we're finally ready to use the clone ability on Anti-Venom. And this is where I get my first taste of Anti-Venom gameplay. But again, trying to leave that one on the field as well because we want to see his abilities. And that's what actually led to the discovery of the hidden symbiote. So here's a first look at Anti-Venom's special. I believe I open with the special. And I do that because it doesn't do any damage, so it buys more time. So, pretty interesting animation. Basically pulls himself into the ground and covers everyone and heals them up. Obviously there was no one dead on my team, no dead symbiotes, so he couldn't revive them. And that's a really cool basic animation. And then he goes back and he heals his teammate there. Alright, here's a look at the Anti-Venom ultimate, and I wanted to make sure I used it on someone with a negative effect. We're not really going to see him gain the speed there because he already had it, but he does get a regen and he does get the kill, and then he actually mirrors his special animation for the second half of his ultimate when he applies the positive effects to everyone there. Here's a first look at Anti-Venom's basic finisher, and it's pretty cool. And it is weird that he stabs his teammate to heal them. It makes sense, but the first time I saw it, I was like, what are you doing? Now, something very interesting happened in that footage that I do want to call attention to. Now, as you can see from the Anti-Venom special here, what it does is it clears heal block on all allies. It applies immunity to all allies. It heals all allies for 20% of this character's max health, although it says 20% on this character's max health. Oopsie. And then it says revive a dead symbiote ally with 60% base health. If there are no symbiote allies to revive, gain 3 ability energy. So I call attention to that because something very interesting happened in this footage that reveals the identity of the secret 6th symbiote. So check it out. And the hidden 6th symbiote is Deadpool. So to make sure my eyes weren't playing tricks on me, I went back in, this time at 1x speed, and I wanted to make sure that I was seeing what I was seeing. Because it was true that Deadpool was the first enemy on the stage that I killed, and if you didn't know, the way the game decides who is being revived is in the order that they died, as long as they weren't killed with something that prevents revives, of course. Now, we already know that this ability is supposed to only revive symbiotes, so this is going to confirm once and for all whether or not Deadpool is a symbiote. And there you have it. Deadpool is a symbiote confirmed. Now, obviously, I'm just joking around. Deadpool does not actually have the symbiote tag. What's going on here is they obviously coded Anti-Venom wrong. In addition to the typo on the ability itself, they obviously coded him in a way that he is reviving anyone as opposed to specifically reviving symbiotes like he's supposed to. But this is a big deal. If Anti-Venom actually has a global revive that can revive anyone, then now he's a character that can both cleanse, provide immunity, and revive all in one, and he's not limited to any team. So I'm sure this wasn't the point behind the character, and I imagine that now that this news is out, they will fix it. But yeah, I did want to call attention to the fact that Anti-Venom, as good as he looks, is somehow even more broken OP. Now, while this is almost certainly a mistake, I do want to point out that Venompool is a playable character in Marvel Contest of Champions, and Venompool is a real thing. So, while I'm almost positive that this is a bug, it's possible that this is a little Easter egg teasing that we might one day get Venompool, so I wouldn't hold your breath, but I did think it was funny that of all the characters, it can only ever be Deadpool that you'll see this bug from, because all the other characters on the field are symbiotes, and you have to kill majority of them to get the next wave to drop down. So if you kill a normal symbiote, obviously you don't get to see the bug, so for the purposes of this bug on this stage, it's always going to be Deadpool. Alright, so that's all I've got for you guys. I did want to mention a few things, though, regarding the channel itself. Firstly, thank you guys so much for the support. Obviously, the channel has been growing at an incredible rate, so I cannot thank you guys enough for tuning in. Thank you very much. So Loot Cakes just published their list of the top 10 Marvel mobile game YouTubers, which they tally up just based on the metrics of the channels, and we were once again in the top 10 as one of only 2 Marvel Strike Force channels. So thank you guys so much for the support. It means a lot. On that note, the 4.4.1 tier list stream is going to be this Sunday on Twitch for the exact time. Follow along the Discord announcements channel. We haven't decided exactly when yet. It's probably going to be around 10 a.m. But yeah, we're doing the new tier list stream, and then just following the new tier list stream, we're going to update the solo character tier list, the top 5 teams list, the synergy team tier list, and 28 unique Sherwin Blitz teams. We're also going to have a brand new infographic, the ISO 8 class guide infographic, and that is going to have every single character, their optimal ISO 8 class. A handful of the characters do have an alternate class, which is a class that they get pretty much the exact same value out of, whether they're one or the other. So it will list alt classes for some of the characters that qualify. In addition, it will have synergy classes. And what I mean by that is certain characters as a solo character benefit a lot from being one class, but on their team, it makes more sense for them to be another class. So that will be in the synergy team class. And then finally, something called special teams. And special teams does not apply to all teams. There's a handful of teams that the individual characters may not be classes that are benefiting them, but if the entire team is the right collection of classes, you can abuse certain mechanics within the team for really fun results. We'll just leave it at that. So that'll all be on there. The spreadsheet for that information is done. So we have a spreadsheet all filled out with all that information. I need to translate it into a graphic, which I'll be doing after the tier list stream. If you want access to that information beforehand, you can join the Patreon. Any member of the Patreon at any level, even as little as $5, gets access to that spreadsheet and can get that information ahead of time. But don't worry, you do not have to pay to access that information. If you just wait, within a week, I should have that infographic done and available to everyone for free. But of course, if you want to support the channel and get it ahead of time, that is much appreciated. So we've got some other exciting projects coming up, but I don't want to spoil too much. I'll just say we got some big things cooking, and I'll leave you with that. But the last thing I want to mention is anyone is welcome to join the Discord server, discord.gg/Khasino. We got blitz predictions, infographics, videos, data mines, content creator Q&A, and more. So yeah, anyone's welcome to join, but otherwise, I've gone on long enough. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and I will see you guys real soon. Until next time, peace!